fancier setup. So, I hope that you enjoy the fruits of your labor. Now, with all of that out of the way, it's also a special video because really my business. It was a party, and we had good reason to celebrate. So, I didn't pay it much mind, but John had gone through about half of that bottle of bourbon or vodka, whichever it was, hosing off the patio, hosing off both of them because they were a little gross after that. And steam cleaning the patio cushions that he was on top of, all on the first night, which I feel like for most would kind of put a damper on the rest of the trip, but honestly, we thought it was a great way to start it off. Everybody just rallied and had a good laugh about it. No one was upset, even the fella that got puked on. We just rolled with the punches and got cleaned up and got everything taken care of. And after we were done, we just finished our movie. Done cleaning, that is. Yeah, it was a great trip, and it was very funny. I mean, the situation was funny. I felt bad for poor old John because obviously he wasn't feeling very well for that night, but the situation was hectic and funny, and again, everyone was just in such good spirits and humor that we all just laughed it off and continued having fun. So yeah, it was a great trip, and a very rare endeavor for us. We don't all get together very often at all. Maybe at most once a year. Usually not even that often. So it was a great time, and super fun, and I miss them all already. It was pretty hard getting onto the plane home. I definitely shed a few tears, but it was a great